I was always like drawing and always like had a little notebook, and I would always buy diaries, like a lot of diaries, and my mom was like, you don't write in like a single one of these, because I'd always just like draw halfway through and then like be like, I'm done, and like don't finish them and like want to get a new one. I don't remember like a time where I just was like started.
It wasn't until I started taking like more serious art classes at school that I realized that maybe this is something I could do like in college or for a career.
When Megan started to be strong about art, my initial reaction was scared. And what do you want from your children? You want them to live in an environment where they're safe and they have a steady paycheck.
Parents just want their kids to like be stable and like not have to worry about living. And kids don't understand that those are things that they're gonna have to like deal with if they choose a path that isn't as like promising. I mean, I've had like my nights where I'm like, oh my God, like I think I made the wrong choice. But then like I wake up and realize that like it's up to me.
I think I care too much and like am too passionate to just let things go if things don't work out. I don't see myself like just settling or anything.
Yeah, so I never really thought that I would actually see a piece that I've built be in a museum. In just public art in general was never really something that I sort of had as a goal. But I did have the idea of making things and creating spaces or objects, and you know, it feels good. It feels good to sort of come from sort of dreaming of the opportunities to actually be able to execute one. But it's been a long road, and yeah, and it's going to continue to be a long process to sort of grow and expand the work. I feel it's like a hunger. It's like, you know, there's something that yeah, so it's almost like a biological function. It's wanting to do more things, wanting to learn more, wanting to create more, and it's not easily satiated by a project. Even though you finish one, it's sort of immediately, you know, you immediately look towards the next one or the other ones that are ongoing.
Specifically, I was actually going to do this part, which is like the front of the canvas. And then while I was sewing this up, I saw that, hey, the back of the canvas looks a lot more interesting. So I just went off of that. So sometimes, oftentimes I'm very experimental, and then I just look at the aesthetics first, like what looks better. Being Asian, I guess my art is really clean. Like, it's really neat. I'm really bad at abstract, like messy art. Like, I really admire just a stroke that looks really good, because like I don't think I could do that. Just like hit the page and like what I see. Sometimes I sit there and I just like sit there for an hour before I make a mark on the page, because like I'm really intimidated by, I don't know, by a blank page, and like everything has to be really neat. This kind of talks about
having a facade. So it's a closed window, like, so behind those like closed shutters, what am I really like? What am I actually hiding? So like, I'm a very complicated person. Like, I'm really like knotted up. I'm kind of like sharp and grumpy at times, oftentimes.
Being an Asian in the arts, I don't think really it had limitations to my work. At least I don't see them that way. I think, yes, society does have certain sort of, structure to it, and there's definitely sort of a breakdown in hierarchy and demographics of an ethnicity, but I never saw it as a challenge. I never saw it as a limitation.
Just the fact that like I'm an Asian girl pursuing the arts would open up their vision to thinking about the possibilities of, oh, there actually can be an Asian person doing arts. And I think just that is a starting point.
I remember once walking through the physics building at Princeton University and seeing two students, I think they were probably graduate students by their age, standing in front of a blackboard with a formula, and one added something, they both started laughing. I thought, this is a language I will never understand. But I think to try and force children, students, into science, technology, engineering, math, who really don't want to be there is counterproductive. Chances are, if you're not passionate about something, you probably won't be brilliant at it. You may not even be good at it, but more importantly, you may be unhappy doing it.
I feel like things like being a doctor or a lawyer like have an immediate effect, like they serve an immediate purpose, like saving a life or like keeping someone out of jail, and like they have, I don't know, they have immediate payback, but art could have so much more.
I think there's perhaps nothing greater an artist can aspire to than to not only capture the sense of the times they live in, but to even change the course of history through the content of their art.
I feel very not confident about anything else. So art, though, I am confident about. So I must not fail. So I just have this strong conviction that I must succeed. And as long as I have that conviction that I am going to succeed and nothing else, I'm okay.
It's an irony that people who don't appreciate culture think it is just something to amuse you when you're not doing your job.
I don't know if they'd classify as there'd be discussions. I think that's fair. I don't think it ever got too heated.
Never. I think more people need to go into art so that art will be viewed as valuable as any other careers. For me, I think the risk is low because of what Megan is and how she is. She's, as I said before, she's driven, smart. We feel that risk is very low in Megan's case of not being successful.
The trigger point will be her happiness. If she stops being happy, if she's happy, doing her art stuff and getting by, and she's not living in the greatest neighborhood, but the people there are fine. There isn't a crime issue. She's safe. She can prosper and go forward with her life and be safe. That's the main thing. I don't want her to be like at any kind of risk. And if she can do that and she's happy, then there's no reason to make any change.
I think I would be open to my child pursuing anything that he wants to pursue. I think that, I've been benefited from the freedom to explore things that I'm interested in, and it has been a gratifying experience.
What makes you happy?
And being watched by another camera.
Like fire.
You can see into someone's house. I don't like that. It makes me feel like I'm about to like witness a murder.
Mission